Hi class, today we're going to learn about unit rates. I have the definition of a unit rate here. Unit rate compares two values where one value is 1. So example, 20 students for one teacher. That is a unit rate because we're talking about one teacher. 3 apples per dollar. We've talked about this in class, but we need to remember that per always equals 1, so this is a unit rate. 3 apples for every $1. Go ahead and pause and you can write that definition in your notes and then move on when you're ready. Here's our first example. You can buy 12 pounds of apples for $4.80. What is the cost per pound? And again, we want to remember that per means 1. So what is the cost of 1 pound of apples? So let's set up our proportion. We have 12 pounds costs $4.80. So we have pounds and dollars. So we know that 12 pounds cost $4.80, and we want to know the cost is our missing piece of information for every per 1 pound. So 1 is going to go on top because pounds is on top. And we don't know the cost. That is our missing piece of information. That's pretty much all that's new, and we know how to cross multiply. We've been working on this for a while. 12 times x, 12x equals $4.80 times 1, $4.80. There's multiplication between the 12 and the x, so we are going to divide. Dividing decimals. We can review that. Since the outside number is a whole number, we do not have to move the decimal, so we're just going to go ahead and start dividing. 12 does not go into 4, 0. Here's our decimal, so we're going to scooch it up. 12 goes into 48 4 times. 12 times 4 is 48. When we subtract, we get 0. And then 12 goes into 0 0 times. So we can buy 1 pound of apples for 40 cents. So there's our first example. Let's go ahead and look at our second example. Greg lives 150 miles from his grandma's house. If it takes him 3 hours to drive, what is the speed in miles per hour? So per means for 1 hour. Let's go back up to our problem and find our ratio. 150 miles takes 3 hours. So let's set up our key. We have 150 miles in 3 hours. There's our 2 units. 150 miles in 3 hours. What is his speed in miles per hour? So we want for 1 hour, and we want to know the miles. So once we read the problem and we know that per means 1, again, there's not much different from what we've already been doing. 3 times x is 3x. 150 times 1, 150. Divide by 3. And we have x equals 50 miles per hour. And you might see this on the signs on the side of the road that tell you the speed. MPH is always miles per hour. So Greg must travel 50 miles per hour to get to his grandma's. And we have one more example. This one's a little bit harder. Carla ran 1/6 of a mile in 30 seconds. what is her speed per minute? Per means in 1 minute. So let's go ahead, let's find our ratio. 1/6 of a mile in 30 seconds. So we have miles and seconds. She ran 1/6 of a mile in 30 seconds. When we go to set up the second part of our proportion, what is her speed per minute? We don't have minutes in our key, but we do know how many seconds are in a minute, so we can write that in our key. We know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, and seconds are what is in our key. So we can go ahead and say, I want to find out how many miles she can run in 60 seconds. We can cross multiply. We might also see the shortcut here. Some of us might realize that 30 times 2 is 60. So we can go ahead and multiply the top number times 2 as well. I'm going to cross multiply just to show us. 30 times x is 30x. 1/6 times 60. I'm going to write that one out. 1/6 times 60. When I'm multiplying a fraction by a whole number, we want to put 1 on the bottom, and then we multiply straight across. 1 times 60 is 60. Like a boss, 6 times 1 is 6. We can simplify this. We know that 60 divided by 6 is 10. So we have 30x equals 10. We're again going to divide by 30. So we have x equals 10/30ths, which we can simplify. We can divide both the numerator and denominator by 10, and our answer is x equals 1/3 miles. If we use the shortcut here, 1/6 times 2 times 2 over 1, whole number, we put 1 on the bottom. We multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2. Like a boss, 6 times 1 is 6. And we can simplify, divide by 2, 1/3, and we get the same answer. If you would like to challenge yourself, you can try and find out what Carla's speed would be for 1 mile. How long would it take her to run 1 mile? Go ahead and try the problems on your own, and I will see you tomorrow in class.